And welcome to the show, everybody. And this is Conversations with Coryelle, and I'm kind of excited because it's 12:15. We're a little late, but that's all right. We're here. We're happy to be here. We had a technical glitch, technical issues, and as will happen sometimes when we are doing this, and but that's all right. So, Coryelle, how are you today?
I'm good. Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm good too. Thank you very much.
Super
It's great
soft.
to see you, and I'm kind of excited because this is the sixth of six toy thing that we're going to be doing, and we're going to talk about the Transcendent a little bit today, and stuff like that, which is great. Tell us a little bit about because the Transcendent is not original. That came
Well,
through
it is.
you.
They're all original, but the Transcendent was something that I had 5, and I thought there was only 5, and then the Transcendent came through, and I was like, "Ooh, isn't this interesting?" After I connected to a horse, and what happened was when I connected to this horse by the name of Ben, I went through the list. I always go through the list in my head. So what their archetypes are, what the personalities are, and I went through the energetic. It was like no, direct and demanding, no, sensory, no. Then I was like, rule breaker, no, and then I was like, well, the shifter is part of all 5 of them. So, but I said, okay, well, maybe he's a true shifter or something. So I went through the shifter, and I started getting excited because I got a no, and I was like, ooh, isn't this interesting? And then all of a sudden, as I was connected to Ben, I just got this slap in the face of all this information for this new dynamic. And the dynamic is called the Transcendent. And nobody is different. Everybody's different, but nobody's better than the other. Okay. It might sound like this one's better than the others, but they aren't. They're all amazing. It's just this one really wanted to come through. And the interesting thing was, once I started to download and get all the traits and the characteristics of this archetype, I started to realize this was me. to a certain extent, I'm all of the dynamics. I could see all the dynamics in me, but then I said to myself, no, I'm truly a transcendent. And isn't that interesting? Because all of the other ones seem to fit to a certain extent, but they weren't like 100, not 100, but really, really like fully 50 at least percent me. It felt like I was a shifter with all of them, but there was also some parts of myself, that the traits of myself that I started looking and I couldn't find in the other dynamics. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that is all about. And then I started to realize and see this trait and understanding, like my heart cat PC. I talk about her in a lot of other shows. She was absolutely extraordinary, and she was a transcendent. And I was like, and then I started to see my other cat, Samwise. I used to call him Samwise Gamgees before he left this earth. He was a transcendent, and I started talking to other people about what this transcendent was, and like, my God, that's me. That's so much like me. And I was like, that's cool. So other people are starting to see the dynamics in themselves as well. So the transcendent is what I call, there's all kinds of like characters that I put with the archetypes, with the dynamics, so you can really get an idea. So the transcendent, when you think of the transcendent, think of Yoda.
Aha.
Okay, think of the Dalai Lama. Not that I'm calling myself the Dalai Lama, but it's these other different, these teachers, these guides, these Zen masters to a certain extent. Okay. Again, I'm not calling myself a Zen master, but I am, there are parts of me that are like this.
But I would call you very special, though. I mean,
I call everybody special, but the transcendent is about different things. So let me go into some of the spectrums, some of the plus spectrums. So like the energetic is about really connecting to this world through the energies of the people that they interact with, the energies of the places that they're in, the energies of the situations that they're in. They really want to feel that energy. That's where they get their like excitement and their joy. The transcendent, on the other hand, is about connection to themselves, their inner being, connection to other people and their inner beings, connection to nature, connection to the planet, connection to the universe, connection to divine, connection. They love when they're fully and completely connected to whatever it is that they want to be connected to. They're extremely zen. What I mean by that is that they'll go through a situation and they keep their equilibrium, they keep their balance. They're calm, they're cool, they're collected. A lot of the times they're very regal animals. When you see these animals, they're extremely regal and they just feel majestic. A lot of the times they're transcendent because they're fully connected to who they truly are. Their inner being is connected to their outer being, which is connected to the universe. Usually they are teachers, guides, they inspire people, they inspire other beings. A lot of the times they're leaders of the pack, leaders of the herd, things like that there. So because they love full presence. What I mean by that is they make eye contact. They not like the direct and demanding, which makes eye contact all the time like this. Like I want, the transcendent really is, it's really important for them to make eye contact with whoever they're connecting to, or they need that full presence. So what would drive a transcendent animal or a person crazy is if you are with them, be with them. Don't be with them and text on the phone. Don't be with them and have the TV in the background. That they need your full presence. They need that connection in order to feel seen, heard, and nurtured. So if you're sitting with your animal who is a transcendent, they will probably let you know by either swiping at you or pawing at you or, I don't know, peeing on the floor when you're not fully present with them, if they want you to be fully present with them. So the transcendent toys, they're not really toys. The transcendent toys for the transcendent would be toys that you fully play with them with. Not so, for example, mice toys that they have to play with by themselves that maybe the sensory or the rule breaker would love is not probably going to fly. The electronic toys, again, that they have to play with themselves. The electronic toy is okay, but it's not. They want full presence from whatever they're with, and if whatever they're with is a gadget, it's not going to. They want that full presence from a living, breathing being. So toys that you really interact with them with, toys like feather toys or rod toys or something, that not toys that you fling. I don't know how to describe it, but they really want you to be the one driving that toy, whatever that toy is. Like taking a feathered toy or a catnip toy and playing with it with them, as opposed to just tossing it to them and hoping that they play with it. They want to play with you. They don't want to play by themselves. They can do that on the whole point is that connection, because what they do is when they are connected like that, they fully feel your emotions. They feel how you're feeling. They feel how you feel about the situation. They feel about your joy and your happiness, and they want to know that they're bringing that to you.
So it really is about the connection between you and the transcendent, rather than them just playing and going off on their own.
Yeah.
Really, and so the toy is almost secondary. It's just a vehicle by which they can be with you.
Yes. The toys and the gadgets that I'm going to show you today, and there's no toys. There really isn't any toys. The the objects that I'm going to show you today are about deepening your relationship to the transcendent. In deepening your relationship to the transcendent animal or the person, what happens is that you then deepen the relationship that you have with them. Meaning if you show that you're trying to deepen the relationship with them, they will open up in ways that you can't even imagine. They will show you things. The transcendent are called old souls usually. They're called otherworldly. They're called usually, not always, but usually when somebody says, this your cat is not a cat. He doesn't act like a cat. He acts like a person, or he acts like a horse, or a horse that acts like a person, or a person that acts like a horse. It's like when they're otherworldly, when they're other likely, that when people say they're not like they should be, usually that's a sign that they're a transcendent.
Gotcha.
So at transcendent, the definition of a transcendent is exceeding or surpassing the ordinary experience. And that's what the transcendent is all about. We love transcending the ordinary. That's why for me, I love the animal dynamics. That's why I think that they're so powerful, because they transcend the way people have seen animals previously. They will and are transcending the way people will interact, not only with animals, but with themselves if they apply the dynamics.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Cool.
Okay. So number one is, if you could put up the book, Kevin.
I'm going to do that right now. Maybe. Yes.
So one of the big things that the transcendent loves is if you sit with them quietly or meditate with them. There is a book by Pamela Robbins that you see right now, and it is called Meditating with Animals: How to Create More Conscious Connections with the Healers and Teachers Among Us. These are the transcendents. She doesn't know that they're called transcendents, but they are. So what she wrote was, she says, our animals show us unconditional love in its perfect form. They are our most loyal companions, constantly navigating our energy to support our needs. This is something Pamela Roberts experienced on a profound level when she was faced with a relentless series of major life challenges, including the death of her mother, her own cancer diagnosis, a divorce, and letting go of her life as she knew it in order to find herself. Her animals were instrumental in getting her through it all, recognizing how hard they are in working to comfort and heal her. So what she did was she really worked with actively meditating with her animals, not just sitting with them and just saying, oh, well, Fluffy's over there as I'm meditating, but really tuning in. She used this method of really connecting to the energy between herself and her animal, mindful observing and learning from her animals. She was doing animal communication, and it became extremely powerful for her. So this book is filled with techniques and a method that she used It's really incredible because it's got a lot of good reviews. On top of, one of the people who really reviewed it is Jeffrey Fannin, who's a PhD, and he's he thinks it's a must read if you love animals. Okay. Also, I believe it was Dr. Trent. He's Oprah Winfrey, is one of Oprah Winfrey's favorite guests. But this is a really good book. If you want to learn, if you believe that you have a transcendent animal, and even if you don't have a transcendent animal, but you want to deepen your relationship with them, this is a great way to do it. I'm always a big proponent of meditation. It doesn't have to be hours sitting on the floor in a lotus position, unless that's your thing. You can sit on the couch with your animal. You can lay on the floor with your animal. You can lay on the bed with your animal and just do a meditation. But they're very, very eager. Animals can always tell when we're chilling out our brain waves. Usually that's when they'll come to us. They always can feel it. My boy Tao is always with me. As soon as I get in my meditation chair and I start meditating, forget about it. He's right there. He's right there, right on me. So he feels that. They know when your brain waves are gonna slow down enough that they can get like a word in edgewise. So this is a great thing for you. And because of you reading it and gaining the methods within this book and learning how to meditate with your animal, that your animal benefits. So it's a twofer, basically.
Isn't it
It's a
amazing?
win-win.
The one thing that I've learned working with you, Coryelle, and in all seriousness, is that people, generally speaking, do not recognize how deep and how thoughtful and how I guess deep is the only word I can come up with that animals really are.
Yeah.
They're not superficial. They really are capable of much more than we have ever thought, and that a lot of people have ever thought.
Yeah. And even if you have a wonderful relationship with your animal, I mean, I totally agree with what you just said, Kevin. It's like, even if you have an already amazing relationship with your animal, think about the fact that you can even deepen it even more. If you just allow yourself to take a few minutes a day and just be with them, fully present, maybe in a quiet state, and just see what happens. Give yourself a week. Say, I'll do this for a week. I will do this for a week. I will actively do this for 2 minutes every day for a week and see what happens. And make note of what happens, because there's going to be some interesting stuff happening, I guarantee you. Even if it's simply that you feel better and you feel more connected and you've tapped into an even deeper love for your animal. Isn't that worth it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is a great book. It's by Pamela Robbins. You can find it on Amazon. I personally just bought this for myself, and I meditate with my animals all the time. I bought it a week ago, and I'm just going to start reading it in a day as soon as I'm done with a couple of other books I have in front of me. So this is something where I find it very, very interesting. Somebody actively, and there's not a lot of books out there about talking about meditating with your animals. Trust me, I looked. Okay. I'm telling you, this is the one. There was a couple of others, but this is the one I really like. This is the one that was really talking about how animals are teachers and guides and have something to really talk to you about and tell you. But you have to be open, and you have to quiet your mind in order to hear it. You cannot try to communicate with your animal with a crazy squirrel mind. It's not going to work.
No, because they operate at a different vibration than we do.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
So whatever the vibration is, either higher or lower, you have to match it in order, and probably I don't know.
Well, it's usually higher. Their vibrations are usually higher. And they're trying to drag you or help you up to their vibrations so that you can communicate, because like can communicate with like, which is why I tell people, don't see humans up here and animals down here. Okay. And the same goes for seeing animals up here and humans down here. You're not going to be able to hear. When you put anything below anything else, that thing below is not going to be heard from the thing above.
Right.
Or that thing below is not going to be heard, is not going to hear that thing above because you think it's so much higher than you are. Which is why I tell people also, when you connect to divine, understand your divineness. See your divineness too. They are, divine thinks of us as loving, beautiful, wonderful, amazing beings, spectacular beings. But if you see divine as something so much bigger than you are and so much better than you are, you're truly not going to be able to hear. You have to understand that you are a divine being yourself and hear that and feel that worthiness in order for the connections to be nice and healthy and clear.
And in that, one of the reasons that you are able to communicate the way you are is because you understand that principle.
I live that principle. I try
Exactly.
always and to always understand that animals are equal as I am, and I am equal to them. And that's the way they want it. They don't want anybody, they don't want us thinking they're better than us. That's where problems start. That's where Planet of the Apes comes from. The animals started to become humans. It's like, look, we're all trying to get along. We're all trying to live on this planet, and we're all trying to be as in a peaceful but open and connected stance as we possibly can in finding joy in our lives. But when we start to clog that connection up with worry and doubt and second guessing and being skepticism and um, uh, sarcasm and snideness and hubris. And I'm not talking arrogant. I'm arrogant. Okay. I think I'm awesome. And you want to call that arrogant? No, I think that's self-aware. But there's hubris where you're constantly thinking you're better than everybody else when you really don't. Honestly, you really don't. But you think that you have, the more that you say it, the more you'll believe it truly, and everybody else will believe it, but you're not. So it's like when you clog the communication links with all that kind of mishigash, you're going to have problems.
Yep.
So that's what this is all about. This is about clearing these pathways because, again, the animals want us connected to them. They want us to feel that and to be happy and to live in joy and to live in unconditional love of self and unconditional love of the universe. And they want us to be on that path with them, not above them, not below them, not behind them, but walking beside them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Makes for a much better relationship.
it does. Now, there are some things that some people have a hard time especially when you're first meditating. Okay. It can be hard. Let me explain to you a little tip about meditation. So a lot of people think and come from the mindset that meditation is about totally and completely quieting the mind and stopping thought. It's absolutely 110% impossible. Can't do it. Okay. Even yogis can't do it. You can go into a trance state, okay, but you're still seeing stuff, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's colors or whatever, and your brain is still processing that. I don't care what anybody says, and I might get mean emails from yogis out there. I don't care. Bring it. Okay. I don't care. You can't stop thought. It's BS. You can't. Okay. What you can do, though, is that you can quiet the mind enough that the thought, as opposed to coming in like thought, okay, which is the way the regular mind goes, the conscious mind goes. When you tap into meditation, whether that is by binaural beats, or whether it is by megahertz frequencies, or whether that's by light therapy, or whether that's by, visualization meditation, or just listening to things like crystal bowls, or just nice meditative music. What happens is that the thoughts go from to it's that pause. You're striving to make that pause in between your thoughts wider, as wide as you possibly can, so that you're like, okay, oh, I just thought of something. Oh, I just thought of something. So it's like, but you let it pass through. You don't hold on to it. Okay. You just let it pass in, pass out, and try to make that gap in between the thoughts as wide as you possibly can. People come into it and they set themselves up for failure. I'm trying to set you up for success, because they set themselves up for failure thinking a few things. Number one, I got to stop my thoughts totally and completely. Can't do it. I can't do it. I might as well not do it. Okay. I got to sit on the floor in a lotus or a lotus position. Can't do it. Okay. Of course you can't do it. Who can? Some people want to. If that's your thing, it's not my thing.
Somebody like me, it's just not going to happen, I'm afraid.
Right. Well, some people have hip issues. Some people have knee issues. Some people have back issues. They can't sit on the floor. So find a comfortable lounge chair, find someplace comfortable. It doesn't matter. Lay on your bed. It doesn't matter. There's no rules. And if somebody tries to make you think that there are rules, tell them to go jump off a pier somewhere. Okay. I hate rules. I make my own rules. Then other people think that they have to listen to a certain kind of meditation. Well, I tried listening to just music and it didn't work. I couldn't slow my mind down. Well, maybe that's not your way in. You got to find your doorway into meditation. And your doorway can look different. It could be, there's hundreds and thousands of doorways into meditation, and you don't have to use the same doorway all the time. So, okay, so you tried just music. Maybe that's not the right thing for you. Okay. I can't really meditate to things like nature sounds, except birds. If it's birds, I can. Okay. But then I start trying to figure out which bird it is. That's my mind. I can't listen. I can listen to the ocean, but it has to be the right wave sound. If it's too turbulent, it makes me crazy. If I can't listen to rain, it makes me nuts, and it makes me want to go to the bathroom. So it's no good for me. Okay. You got to find your way in. I tell people right now, you need a meditative guide when you first start out. So maybe finding guided meditations that work for you. Let somebody else do the work. Let them do the work. Let them take me where I need, and just listen to their voice. That's all you have to do. Just listen and find somebody whose voice really resonates with you. If their voice annoys you, that's not the person you should be listening to.
Yeah, no. I got a real quick story about that, if I can tell it.
Of course.
Years ago, a friend of mine and me, we were learning to meditate, and he, in the course of what we were doing, he put together a guided meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going to put together my independence report, when I first began, one of the first things that I did was to put this guided meditation up just for fun, just to see if anybody would be interested in it. It has been downloaded more than any other episode I've done.
What's the name of it?
It's a guided meditation, and
Okay.
it's been downloaded well over 2,000 times.
Cool.
And yeah, and and people just found it.
Yeah.
I didn't publicize it. I didn't do anything. They found it, and to this day, it is still getting hits. So go to my independence report and go to way back, way back, way
Or
back.
just do a search. Maybe just do a
Yeah.
search for meditation, guided
But
meditation.
well, on the My Independence Report page on the left hand side, it says it gives you the top 10, and it's number
Okay.
one. So, but it's really, and he did a really good job. So,
Yeah.
you might even like it.
I might even like it. I'll go and download that too myself, actually. So thank you. But, we have this misconception. So that's why this book, I think, is really important. This next gadget, I think, is a really important gadget. The reason being is because it has ideas. I found this on uncommongoods.com. They're called Mindfulness Dice. Each dice has got like an idea. Basically, the idea is for people who want to start their day in mindfulness. But I think, and that's a great way to start your day, absolutely. But I think it's also a great tool if you have an idea of something, if you've decided that I just want to meditate with music, but I need a theme as opposed to just meditating and seeing what happens. I need a theme. Me and my animal, my dog, my cat, my bird, my chihuahua, my lizard, my whatever parrot need a theme to meditate on. So if you roll this dice, there's a theme that you can use these for themes. You can use it for example, the ones that are up here is trust your intuition, self-relaxation, self-awareness, set intention, body awareness, body love, counting the breath, forgiveness, gratitude, opening up. So what you can do is you can use these if you're not sure about where to go or where to start, and you want to just meditate with music, because I'm not so much a guided meditation person, although it depends. Usually I'm good to go. Give me some raga music, or give me some, which is Indian sitar music, or give me some chanting, or give me some crystal singing bowls, or give me some bilinear beats, or give me some megahertz music, and I'm good, man. I'm good. So, but I find this interesting. These little dice are interesting because sometimes it's like I want to go in, and I could just go in and I was like, well, let's just see what happens, which is a great thing to do. But if you're not sure and that makes you uncomfortable, these are really cool little gifts that you can give yourself, or you just roll the dice. Maybe roll two of them and say, forgiveness and gratitude. I'm going to meditate on forgiveness and gratitude. Where does that feel in my body? Where does gratitude feel in my body? Maybe the heart. Maybe where does forgiveness feel in my body? Maybe my third chakra. So just opening that up. And it's a way for you to take, I'm trying to set you and your animals up for success. This is an easy way to take the pressure off, so you don't have to feel like I have to come up with some kind of theme, or I have to come up with some kind of like result or goal for my meditation. They're great, and they're beautiful little gifts, and they're $18.95 on uncommongoods.com. Go ahead, go for it. It's a lot of fun. All right. Now,
That looks like it would be a lot of fun.
yeah, I mean, it takes the pressure off. It's like you roll the dice and you say, oh, okay, I'm going to work on body today. Body, loving my body, sending my body love and compassion and empathy and appreciation. Things like that there. It's really cool. And it's a great way to start your day. And then if you want to, you can use that theme you use for your meditation, for your mindfulness for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
Now, here's the thing about the meditation. I call this less is more. You do not have to sit and meditate for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on end. A little bit will go a long way. It's a great way to start your day. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And you will find that your attitude, no matter how slight, has changed, but it's changed slightly. And that's okay, because that sets you up for success for the rest of your day. It's a great way to start your day. Even if you're still doing it when you just wake up in bed, do a little bit. Okay? It doesn't matter. Just a little is better than nothing. A little is better than nothing.
Absolutely. Well, a couple of minutes, and then it can get longer and longer, and when you get a little bit more
Right.
comfortable and stuff. But you can do it. I don't recommend doing it at a stoplight, but you can do it when you're at lunch hour in your car, when you're having a stressful day, and you can go and get recentered and kind of restart your whole day and
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So it can be done anywhere.
It
Uh,
can.
the park bench in your car, and it's just about anywhere. So
Right. And just put a meditation in your on your iPhone or something, and you're ready to rock and roll, you know? It's a great way to do it. And there's hundreds of meditations, but if you want to find one person whose voice I like a lot is Mary, God, what's her name? Mary Murphy. It's not Mary Murphy. I always mess her. Meditationoasis.com has got podcasts, hundreds of podcasts with different kinds of meditational themes, all with visual or guided meditations. And the woman's voice is crazy. Is crazy cool. I find it crazy cool. But here's the thing: just because I find her voice crazy cool, her voice might annoy you. So again, different strokes for different folks. If she don't work for you, find somebody who does. Don't take it as gospel that, oh my God, I got to sit there and listen to somebody's voice who annoys the hell out of me. That's not what meditation's all about. That's not what it's all about. You need to find somebody who works for you, somebody who resonates for you. So,
yeah, you won't quiet your mind if all you're thinking about is, boy, this person irritates the crap out of me.
right, really. I mean, really. So, there you go. So the next gadget is pretty cool. The next gadget is, hang on one second, my mouse is frozen. And of course my mouse goes out. Why wouldn't it go out?
Relax Pet Pro Animal Relaxation Trainer.
You have it up?
I do.
Okay. So this is a very cool little object. What this is called is it's called the Relax-A-Pet, and they make it for several different animals. They make it for dogs. They make it for cats. They make it for birds, and they make it for horses. The reason being is what this is that it is a frequency for different animals that the animals can hear, but the people don't necessarily are able to hear at this level. So what this is that it's played, and it's been scientifically proven that some megahertz are relaxing to different species of animals. So cats are different than dogs, and birds are different than horses, and horses are different than dogs. So that's why they make the different Relax-A-Pets. The neat thing about it is that you first start it, and there's a way for you to start it so you hear the music. So you can kind of hear what your animal's listening to, but your animal gets used to it as you get used to it. Okay? Because what it is that whether we're aware of it or not, we're also vibrational beings. So if we're not used to, if we're hearing something, we're feeling that vibration, whether we hear it or not. So what happens is that if you have this Relax-A-Pet and you don't like the sound, it's your animal's going to feel that, and they're like, well, if my person doesn't like the sound, why the hell do I need to like the sound? So if you can hear how your animals are, or what your animals somewhat are going to hear, then it relaxes you as well. The great thing about this is it helps with things like fireworks, separation anxiety, vet visits, change of ownership, traumatic experiences, boredom and plucking out their feathers, stall rest, aggression, transportation stress, and a lot of other things. And the neat thing about this is it's a Bluetooth. So what that means is that you can plug it in and take it with you in the car, put it in their transportation stall and play it while you're traveling with them. So it's something that you can take. You can have them at home, but if you need to take them with you, you can take it with you as well. It travels in the car, and it also has a battery that recharges. It's noise and motion sensitive, which means that if your animal is resting and relaxing and they're chilling out, you could put it in a place where they usually get maybe agitated. And when they go to that place, it'll start playing it so that then they can start relaxing and calming and all this other kind of stuff. And then it's got it also has continuous operation as well. There's a YouTube video on Relaxapet that's on the Relaxapet site, which is cosmicpets.co.za. And on that is that this is a company out of New Zealand. However, you can find it on Amazon, Petco, Chewy's. You can find it in different places. You don't have to buy it directly from them. But there's also things about like it solves things like, like mourning, grief, destructive behaviors. This is something where, and I think the Transcendent is going to like it because the Transcendent could be using the vibrations. They're very vibrational oriented, just like the energetic is, but the energetic is more about energy. The Transcendent is about connection through that connection, feeling the vibrations and the presence. So it might be something that they like a lot, that they can use and to get them to a more astral traveling or divine kind of like connection.
That's interesting. That really is.
They're cool. They're really cool. I have had some people who have said that that's really worked for their animals. Some haven't. For things like car issues, car problems, for separation anxiety. I just found this a little while ago, so I haven't had really a lot of chances to show this to other clients or have it come up for other clients. But I think it's something that's really, really a cool idea, and it's got great reviews. So again, I would encourage people to go to the website or go to YouTube and just search for Relaxapet videos. There are a lot of them. Some are people who are just like, this doesn't work, and trying to punk it and stuff. Whatever. I know that, believe what you believe or don't believe, but animals are very vibrational beings. And it's one of the reasons why I tell people if your animal is having separation anxiety, to make sure to maybe try playing some soothing music while you're away, like a playlist on Spotify or Pandora that's nice and relaxing and soothing, meditation music, or again, nature sounds, but that might be a little bit too much for them depending on what the nature sounds are. Or, like maybe just like relaxing Indian flute music, Native American flute music, things like that there might help them relax, because music does soothe the savage beast, not only in the animals, but in ourselves. That's why we love music so much, why we're all vibrational beings. So that's why, to me, this product makes so much sense.
Absolutely. That's great.
So that is pretty much what I have for the Transcendent. You can expand on this as much as you want to, but remembering that the Transcendent is about connection, connection, connection. They live, they breathe for it. So going over a little bit, because this is going to be the last show. I decided that this is going to be the last show because the Transcendent, I think, really we can't go into it more. It's a simplistic it's a simplistically beautiful dynamic. So you don't really, it's not rocket science. It's not like the rule breaker. It's not like the direct and demanding where you have to figure stuff out. It really is about the connection. And if they want to be as connected to you as possible. So just so wrapping it up, the different dynamics that we've gone through are the direct and demanding. The direct and demanding is kind of like the protector guardian archetype. So think of somebody like, gentle but strong. So somebody like the Rock. Somebody like I am probably nobody's got Andre the Giant from The Princess Bride. This big, huge, hulking guy. That's one of my favorite movies. I love The Princess Bride. But somebody who's imposing, but strong, but gentle. It's like, or maybe even there's, to bring it up, I'm just watching this series again, rewatching it because the new series is coming out, The Witcher. I love that series on Netflix. So he's strong, he's powerful, he's very, very, but he's also got a gentle side to him that is protected. So he's a big protector. So somebody like that. The energetic is the empathic archetype. So what I used before was Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. The empathic, telepathic, connected fairy queen who was gentle yet powerful. The rule breaker. I have changed the rule breaker. I said last week something else. I'm changing this up. The rule breaker is the innovator. The innovator is kind of like someone who sees or builds something in new ways. I want to think of the innovator as the rule breaker. Innovator is kind of like Thomas Edison, Oprah Winfrey. They think of things differently. They think and do things on a totally different level. The sensory. There's the sensory, and the sensory is the pacifist, not weak. Pacifist. Pacifist is someone who would rather believe in peace than war. Would rather go into a peaceful situation and going into a situation in peace than in a war, like, pushing against mentality. So people like Gandhi, Martin Luther King, those are the sensories. Then you have the chameleon, which is the shifter, ever changing, ever growing, ever moving. So you never know who you're going to get. So somebody like Eddie Murphy, who's constantly shifting in all of his movies, or Robin Williams, who would shift from one person to another person to another. He felt like he was chaotic, but he wasn't. There was a method to his madness to a certain extent. And then we have the Zen master, the transcendent. And this is the Yodas, the Dalai Lamas, the deep ones who want to be able to teach you and show you, the guides, the teachers, the ones that inspire and want to bring change in a good way to the world. The ones who are connected. Yoda was connected to the Force. So that's why he's a good archetype for this transcendent. So those are the 6 dynamics. And it's been a thrill. And I think I'm looking forward to, and I want to thank everybody who's joined us and who will watch these later on for their support. Kevin and I are very, very excited about the fact that in January 1/22/22, we are going to be starting a brand new series. And these are going to be really exciting. This is going to be what I want to call true animal stories. I'm going to be bringing you stories of what truly happened in my client sessions. without, of course, sharing names. Everybody's name is going to be changed from the animals to the persons. Okay. Nobody's name is going to be used, but it's going to show you how incredible the animals are, how animal communication is, what the animal dynamics can do, and how animals can change. So true animal stories, something like that. I don't know if that's the title, but
we'll come up
right now.
We got a little time, but we also got to mention before we go, something is happening 1 week from today.
Yes. So, the honor has been mine to be asked to be a guest on Coast to Coast AM radio. And I am going to be a guest from 1 to 3 a.m. Eastern time. It's Eastern time.
That's 10 to midnight Pacific time, 11 to 1 Mountain time, noon to 2 Central time.
Noon.
I'm sorry. Midnight to 2.
Right.
Central time.
Right.
I got my 12 mixed up.
I'm going to be posting all this. I have all the information sent to the producer. I'm waiting for her to come back and confirm with me. So I'm hoping to post all this information on my website and also on my Facebook page tomorrow at the latest. But yes, Coast to Coast. So I'm going to be a guest talking about the animal dynamics, animal communication. We're also going to be taking calls. If you can support me and, be there, that would be wonderful. If you can support the show and download it and listen to it later, that's appreciated as much as well too. So it's exciting. It's wonderful. It's amazing. I thank the universe for this opportunity of bringing the dynamics really and truly to a huge audience and the world. So yes, that's December 14th, again, from 1 to 3 a.m. Eastern time. And if you go to Coast to Coast AM/stations.com, you can find your station. Or quite easily, if you wanted to, you could go to like WOR.com or iHeart.com/live/710-WOR. And what it is you can listen to it on iHeartRadio. That's the voice of New York City. So if you wanted to, you can listen to it or just find your own station wherever you want. So that's it. That's what's going on.
Very cool. That'll be fun. And so it'll be fun. And what we may do is try and download that and steal a little bit of it and play it for our audience if I can figure out the technology. And to make that happen, I'm not sure I'm allowed to, but we won't tell if you won't tell. So,
well, we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to pee off anybody. So,
we certainly wouldn't want to do that.
No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't.
Because you're going to be a regular on that show. You're going to be back again and again and again and again. 4 times in 1 year. You would.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm just going to set that out to the universe and let that go.
I insist.
But absolutely. Why not? Listen, we were a little late today, so I thank everybody for staying with us. Technical difficulties. It's what happens sometimes when you're dealing with computers. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, and I appreciate you. It's been fun. 22 is going to be a hell of a year. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, on your behalf, I guess I should close out the show. Thank you, Coryelle.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for doing this and for supporting the animal dynamics. And I am super, super excited for what's going to be happening in 2022.
It's going to be a big year.
It is.
Take care, everybody. Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other because each other's all we've got. See you next time on My Independence Report.